Keep going. Hi, everybody. I'm Shannon, and I'm with the Mystics Corner, and we are here at Indigo Moon in Houston, Texas. We are so excited about being here tonight, and it's been a while since we did a Mystic Gathering. There's been a lot of transitions and a lot of things that have been happening, and so we're finally kind of finding a more balanced space with everything that's going on, and so we're going to start at least having one Mystic Gathering a month. We're going to have so many different events that are going to be coming. I am going to bring out the whole broom closet, everything, as we start beginning to do this. And we're going to be doing it at different places around town. One of the things, we're going to have another event here on the 29th of April, right?
Yes.
29th of April, and it's going to be a Reiki drumming meditation. It's different than it's going to be different than a spirit walk, but I'm going to bring my big drums, and we're going to have people on the floor, and we're going to be doing a healing experience using the drums and using the Reiki energy and toning. There's going to be several things, so look for that. That's going to be here on Friday. It'll be a Friday evening starting at 7.
Yeah. And then we'll be back on May 3rd back here for, are we?
Yeah, we're going to be
back
here.
Tuesday, May 3rd.
Yes, we are going to be here on May 3rd.
Yes.
We're going to be, that morning on the Friday, we're going to be doing, actually, if you want to come Friday, we're going to be in the workroom over here doing demo healings, doing Reiki healings, and I'm going to have 2 tables set up, and you can come in and just get on the table. If the table's open, I'm going to be working with everybody that walks in the door that wants it.
And that's April 29th that we'll be here
and that'll be
for
during
walk-ins.
The morning time.
Yeah.
Or during the daytime, and then we're going to have a break, and then we'll come back for the drumming in the evening.
But if people want readings that morning or afternoon, or just want to walk in for a healing, they can.
Yes, so we'll be available here in the workroom in that side over there. And you'll see all that information. We'll start posting a lot of things. We are going to do an Angelic Reiki Masterclass. Please sign up soon because it is already quite going to be full, and so we only have so much space. I mean, I can't. We might have to do 2 classes.
And I'll post more on it, but that's the 16th and 17th. April 16th.
Is it 15th and 16th that day?
It's a Saturday and Sunday.
May.
Oh, in May. That's right.
Yeah. So we'll put up more information around that. I know I'm kind of being an info commercial, but I hadn't been able to get on too much and talk. So without further ado, tonight's topic, we're going to talk about channeling, because we're actually going to teach a channeling class, and then we're going to have an actual amateur day, amateur readings here. We're going to set up in the shop on a Saturday.
Quick question. Do you want me to lock the door and let it be this now, or keep it so people can just walk in? Or...
There was that one person that messaged you on the meetup. I don't know if they messaged back or they gave up.
Yeah.
Leave it unlocked and let people come in? Because I didn't know if they would have random shoppers, if that was going to be, I don't know what you're planning.
No, if they need to come in. Sometimes people come in a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just leave it?
That's okay.
Okay.
So we are going to do a channeling class here. We're working out the days, and then we're going to have a Saturday where we are doing. There is someone coming in.
That's Andrew. He's in the restaurant.
I still feel 1 or 2 people. We're still trying to figure out. So we are going to do a channeling class. People have been asking for that, so we're going to do that. We are going to do a mystic retreat. We're going to start working on details around that, and we're going to be doing light code work in that retreat. So, like I said, I'm going to bring out the whole thing. We're going to start really going into higher stuff. So look for all of those things. But tonight we're going to talk about the channeling, and we're going to do a quick meditation. We're going to find a little music we're going to put on. Okay. Let me see. They're not good. We've been having so many. And we do private parties. If you're looking for doing having a party for summer, the Mystics Corner will come to your party and do readings and you know, we'll do mediumship.
We've done
love
2
it.
birthday parties so
We've
far.
done
It's
2
fun.
birthday parties. It was awesome. It was amazing. So yeah. As long as you have good food. And we will do the food. We can do catering and everything. Come on.
For the
Yes.
music,
Yes.
I couldn't get in.
Why not?
Forgot the password.
It's this.
Yeah.
You know it.
I know. It didn't work. You have no battery, sir. We're going to have to use your phone. Is it on the computer? Use your phone. Do you have music on there?
Same password. Just for my face up here.
God.
You're a man.
You weren't cute enough. It said no. Access denied. Access denied. Okay, I'm going to use this because we are already tuned into the speaker.
Let's do. We don't, for those that are on the video, we don't own the rights to any of the music, just letting you know. We're just playing it for the atmosphere.
Thank you.
Miss this one. So one of the most important things, if you're going to start doing channeling work or intuitive work, is just to be able to learn to relax. And in that state of relaxed state, the information will start flowing. Sometimes we think it's our own thought process or just random thoughts or random things that are going through. But when we relax, when we totally relax and we've been in that space, and it's not, and meditation is not about being just completely silent because your brain is going. It's telling your lungs to breathe, your body to move. It's making, there is action that is happening. It's the state of being present in this moment, of just being in the observant of how your body is being. How are you being? How are you showing up in this moment? So in this meditation that we're going to do, we're just going to do some nice, beautiful breaths. And then we're going to just explore ourselves. What do you feel like? What does your physical body feel like? And then we just breathe into our physical body. And we're going to start that. And we're going to begin to follow our breath, finding your center. If you're at home and you're watching, start finding your center and just breathe into your breath and start going inward. Allowing yourself to go on this journey inward. Because a lot of people, when they're meditating, is always trying to sense things on the outside. We want to sense on the inside and relax on the inside. We want to relax on the inside. And you're going to take a deep breath in your stomach. You breathe in your stomach, out. Pay attention. Are you breathing in and out of your stomach? Are you breathing in and out of your chest? And sometimes it's difficult to breathe in and out of your stomach because that's a place of vulnerability. When we're bringing that energy in there and we're breathing in, feeling that breath. When you feel it, you can just feel the breath moving up and filling your lungs, filling your belly up. And your consciousness is it's just being in that space with it. And you're going to do a real quick check-in with your ego, and you say, hey, ego, would you mind helping me? And ego is like, yeah. Can you just monitor my breath? Help me stay focused on breathing in and out of my belly. Allowing myself to be in that space. And my ego, it's just supporting me in that. Breathing in and out. Now, our consciousness, while our ego is doing that, we're going to ask our consciousness, our mind, that place that we just are just rolling around with it. We're going to have that part of us just go inside and let our surroundings just become at peace. You're going to feel the surroundings. You're going to feel this whole place. It's just going to become at peace. All the crystals in here are now going to sleep. They're going to go to rest for the night. And they're all just resting right now. Everything is just going calm. All your thoughts are just flowing, and it's going inward, and you're just going into your temple. Just go into your temple, and your temple is your body. And your ego is doing your breath. And the only thing you're doing is just going within. And in this space, in your temple, how do you feel in your body? How are you feeling in your body? Kind of just notice how your energy is flowing around your body. Is it tight to you, or is it expanded? Just be in that space, just having fun. Like a child, you're just opening up your space and letting it all flow. You're present. You're one with your physical self, your emotional self, your mental, your spiritual self. All those places where you have separated yourself has now just become one. It's all coming into your temple. You're just allowing your energy, your consciousness, your ego, everything to become congruent, compatible. All your layers of your auric fields are now just flowing like a beautiful, beautiful dance, a beautiful ballet. And it's just moving and flowing. You're just allowing that beautiful dance to happen. And you're being vulnerable. Because you're just the observer and watching your own essence flow. And you're just checking in with yourself. And being at peace with yourself. There's nothing you have to fix. There's nothing you have to do. You're perfect in every way. And you can even begin to explore your own inner life. What does it look like? Explore your life. Where there is light, there is no darkness. And you can use this space. You feel the space that you're in, even in a conscious state, even if you opened up your eyes right now, your whole being will stay in this state of relaxation, of presentness. This is what being very present is. It's just a state of being. You're going to hear things around you. You're going to feel things around you. You're going to experience things around you. But just being in that state of presence. Now, you're going to remember this state. And anytime you need to go back to it, all you have to do is just take a breath and relax and let yourself flow. And you can go right back into this state, no matter what situation you're in, no matter where you go, what you're doing, that consciousness that you're being in the flow, you're being in the movement, even sound still take you and hold you in that space. As you bring yourself into this space, into this now. Feel yourself taking a breath and bringing your consciousness to your eyes and begin to open your eyes. Being here, you're just very present. You're here. Wow, that was beautiful. So, a lot of people ask me, Shannon, how do you get into that state so quick? How do you go there so quick? You know, a couple of years ago, 30 years ago, it's been about 30 years now. I had an experience, an accident, and things got turned on, but it was kind of like I was trying to resist it. I fought it. I did everything, and I ended up going to a red-hand person, and she told me I had a curse, and it was like, oh, all these evil things and everything, and it'd be like $2,500 to get it cleared and all that stuff. So if you're out there looking, it doesn't cost $2,500 to get it cleared. Just go to Walmart, get a candle. It's $1.99. Hold on it. You're good. Burn it. Or come over here. They have some beautiful candles that will help you. And it don't cost you $2,500. Sorry. But anyway, it was my experience, and part of my journey of going on, and I ended up going to this group over in Conroe, and I met this incredible lady 30 years ago. She was kind of, I guess, my first teacher, I guess, and she's like, she said, be at my house. You come and sit down in front of me, wrote on a piece of paper and gave me her address, and I know this lady from in my house tomorrow. I'm like, okay. She was a medium. She talked to me, and so I began my journey. One of the first things that I began to do is that she told me, she said, never fake it. I thought, never fake it. She said, never fake it. Just be in it. Just be in it. And I thought, okay, that's fun. That's awesome, you know. She said, but if you need to get like tarot cards, or you need a playing cards, or you need something to distract, you know, just be with it. It's okay. And then she said, you have to discover in yourself, or create a trigger in yourself, like you set a trigger that tells you, okay, we're working. We are working. Because you don't want to be on all the time. I mean, God, I when I was on, I was living, I wanted to take the blue pill, the pink pill, the purple one with stacks on it, and all of it. Because there were so many things happening, and I didn't understand. It was just a whole bunch of bubbles. Everybody was talking. I had a whole bunch of voices in my head, so I had to first say, hey, everybody's got to back up. Only one. Everybody's got to go to the waiting room. You got to get out. That was one of the first things that she also taught me was, if they got to go sit outside. They don't get to come in the house. This is my space, my sacred space. Otherwise, they're talking all night long. Hey, woo! And I'm working all night long because I go out of my body and do things. But she told me to do my trigger. And my trigger, when you start seeing me do this is my trigger. Then my breath, the breathing is where I really start stepping in. And I could feel, right now I did it, and I'm like, ooh, here we go. I'm like, wait, let me stay here in this space. So being in when you start channeling and you find your trigger, you find what stimulates you, what puts you in that mode. For me, I know who's going to come in by, oh, man, I'm just craving jasmine tea. That's Christ. Christ loves jasmine tea. He wants me to have jasmine tea to drink all the time when we're doing work. When Master Chu comes in to do the work, he loves coffee. Loves coffee. He really, really loves coffee. So you can hear when I'm chanting or working now, I'm even more surrendering into allowing them to work through me now, using the light language, more channeling into it. And you'll hear when he's in, because he does the chanting, the oming, and you'll hear the double, that double throated sound when I'm oming, when he comes in and works. And he does a lot of clearing work. He does a lot of that type of work with me. Now, when I'm working with someone's loved one that comes in and starts working, first, they have to go before my people. We just don't do anybody. Because otherwise, some people, like if I do, let's say a murder case or something like that. Now, I do set a different parameter, I do different energy, or I set myself in a different way. Because when you work in that place, you're going to feel, because I feel, see, hear, taste, I'm in it. I'm experiencing. I can feel what is going on, where it's happening. I see everything around. And it becomes a place for me. And that's why if you want to learn from me, you got to start understanding who you are. Because when you're channeling or you're working in that way, you have to know who you are. Because when you start feeling like how somebody passed away, you know, a loved one come and they're describing this is how they end, or they committed suicide, or they did whatever, and you're going, whoa, whoa, that's intense. Or they coming in and they're very emotional, you know, they have so much grief, or they're sad, you know, oh, that they left, or you know, they had unfinished business or things. You've got to understand you. You've got to know you. And that's any class you ever are with me. If you're working, and you know, I would say, how do you feel? What are you? Who are you? What are you? How are you? Know you, because you can be exploring something energy-wise. Like we can walk around here and explore this. And as we move in this room, you can feel the different crystals and things, and you go, "Ooh, what's that? Ooh, that feels good." Or, "Ooh, let me get over here." And you can feel it. You can feel as you move around, and especially in here, because you might be being very open and very centered, and you're walking around and you're just so attracted to a stone, and you're like, oh my God, I want to touch it. I want to just rub it all over me. I want to just be in that energy. And you don't know why. But it's what your body is really attracted to. And that's part of channeling. That's part of being in that place of exploring. Another key thing of it is doing channeling, and is just having faith. And I'll share one of my very first experiences doing readings. I was at the Edgar Casey Center, and they were doing metaphysical fair, and I was working with my Reiki master teacher, Francis Garza, and at the time, and we set all the tables up. We had all the tables up, and there was just one table that didn't have any name, no nothing on. But it had a chair on one side and a chair on the other. And I just put all the chairs and the names for everybody. And I'm like, well, who's this? She said, oh, don't worry. And so the people started coming. The place was full. She said, hey, Shannon, sit right here. And she puts this lady in front of me who was like somebody that was very well known in the metaphysical world, I guess, here in Houston. And I'm like, oh, wow, I'm just kind of very intimidated here for this moment in time.
Do a reading.
Yeah. She said, read her. I'm like, okay. So I'm in this space, and I just said, okay, I'm going to just, I told her I'm a beginner. I don't know. I'm just, you know. And I said, I don't know why I want to say this. I'm just going to say this. Money, worms, and boxes. That's all I keep seeing is money, worms, and boxes. Money, worms, and boxes. I finally said it. I said, money, worms, and boxes. She just starts laughing. She thought it was the funniest thing ever. She said, me and my husband just signed a contract to buy a worm farm. I said, you're kidding. She said, nope. We just signed it this morning. We just bought a worm farm for doing, what is it, for the agriculture. You know, you get the worms, all the stuff to put in it and all that. It did. Compost. Yes.
Money, worms, and boxes.
Money, worms, and boxes. And I from that point on, it's like, oh, okay, maybe there's something to this. You know, the next person I'm sending here, it's like, oh, here's this man on a motorcycle, a Harley Davidson. He's got a beard. I'm describing him. He's right here in my face. And the lady just starts wailing, crying. I'm like, what? She said, yeah, my husband, he loved his Harley Davidson and he was killed on it. And so he just giving me this. It's like, oh, okay. So just having the face when you get information, maybe it's like, why why am I thinking about blueberry ice cream? That wouldn't be a thought that I would have. And then you tell your person, oh, why is blueberry and ice cream? Oh, I just went to the thing and had a blueberry smoothie or something, you know. It's like, okay. But that's how, when you start tapping into yourself and start really exploring inside of you, and start, I always like playing the game. To me, it's like being like a kid. Like I wonder, I wonder what they do for a living. And then you strike up a conversation because you hear something, and then you strike up a conversation, and it's like, that's it. There's Stripper.
Hardworking lady or man.
Dancer.
Yes, it's very athletic of them.
Yes. Explorer of the arts. But doing, and especially doing channeling and really wanting, if you're really serious about tapping into it, is understanding you. That's the beginning, and exploring that. Of what do I feel like? And then when the energy steps next to you, because they'll come and like, when I'm doing the work, the other day I was at Jessica's doing some work, and he came and sat next to me and just started talking to me. And I'm, they become very, for me, it becomes very real in my space. And
Can
they're
you also
just
do like when you touch objects?
psychometry. Yeah. When I, if I did, back in the day, I don't do it too much anymore because it is really hard. When you get objects like for missing people or things, you can feel it. I love teaching that. I love to teach that because people get surprised when they feel it, and then they're going, and then, you know, you write your story, you're writing, you know, you're getting your information. For me, I have to speak it. I'm a speaker, and it just starts coming out. And, you know, start describing, giving the details and looking for details, because for me, I ask for absolute truth. I want to see absolute truth. I want the highest and best information. I don't want to be tainted. I don't want vagueness. I want evidence. I want to be able to tell you, hey, this, and this. And then, and let it play. Now, names, sometimes I get names, but I don't get too wrapped up in names. Wrapped up.
It's going. That's the start of a name.
I don't. And because sometimes you can, sometimes it's, I just hear a sound. Or it's the thing that's most fun for me, because I do work with a lot of Latino community, is they'll speak Spanish to me. But I understand it in English. It's the most weirdest thing. In the spirit world, they're speaking Spanish and they're going, and I'm like, oh, okay. You know, they're explaining, you know, certain things, but they're speaking in Spanish to me. And I call it, and in the beginning, I called my being in that was the interpreter. I have an interpreter that comes in and interpret whatever language. African, I've had all over the world. People have called me from all over the world to do, and like their parents to be speaking Swahili or whatever, and it's like,
Show me a picture.
but that's not sometimes what will happen, and it's like that, and they'll do. If sometimes we like, let me put it this way. Sometimes in channeling, some people do trance channeling, I do a conscious channeling. I tap into the energy. I'm being conscious about it. I can do trance channeling, especially when I'm doing healing work. It's easier that way. I don't have to do. And trance channeling doesn't mean they go all that. No. They just come in and they just speak. They use the voice and speak through. For me, what it's like for me is an inner knowing. It's when they're channeling to me, it's an inner knowing, and I'm very conscious about what's happening. And it's just that, like, I know. I just, there's no, or they'll use, words like configurations and, big words that I would never use. I'm from the country, we talk y'all. So they'll use different language than me. But I'm a very conscious. And there's writing, what else? There's several different ways to channel. And you have to find one of the fun part for me. I'm not a writer. Now I will draw. I'll get a picture of like if I'm remote viewing or seeing something, or they're showing me a place, or they're showing where they are, or they're showing me this place or who was in the room. I can draw a picture. I can say, hey, you were standing right here, and this person was right here, and I can see it. I can see that way. But to write a message, no. Shannon comes in and goes, what? You want me to write? No.
And that one famous guy, he draws.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be, That's why I say, it's a distraction for the consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I say, for me, this is for a distraction for me. When you see me really start doing this, or I start, it just starts going. I did my trick. It's like, wait, everybody, where are you at? We're in the other world. Any questions?
What if you get a lot of imagery? I mean, it's just like fast paced or imagery.
So I'm going to repeat the question so everybody can hear it. What if when you're tapped in and you're getting a lot of information, a lot of pictures, a lot of imagery? This is what I tell them. I need the 3 most important imageries. I need the 3 most important. And they will start giving it. And I need them to where I can understand them. Or otherwise it's jumbled. And I need them in the order that they need to be spoke about. So it's like you see a red apple, they'll show you a red apple. And then the next image is the red apple is on the windowsill. So like it's going in sequence, so that you can put the puzzle. It's like putting the puzzle together, and then everything starts coming into play, and then your person is going, yeah, my grandmother used to get these red apples, and she'd put them in the windowsill the day before she made apple pie, and blah blah blah. And you go, well, that's what she's trying to say, So the story is being put together.
Puzzle configuration.
It is. And to me, it's like Sherlock Holmes when they start doing that kind of thing. It's like you're creating the story. The story is being brought forth. Years ago, this one lady came and her dad kept telling them, y'all got to go to the trash can and get that box out. And they're like, well, it's nothing but trash. It's not that. I said, you've got to go get that box out. He kept telling me over and over, you've got to go get that box out. And I said, what's in the box? He said, there's money in it. Go get the box. The one they keep thinking is trash. It's like his old thing. It was underneath it.
Money.
Yeah. And so she called her husband to go out there and get that box. And he opened up the liner and there was money in the bottom of the box.
Nice.
And that's why I say when you start seeing imagery and stuff, you just start like, oh, wait, what's going on here? Smells. I'll smell stuff. Ooh. You know, or a perfume. The big thing that they're doing now with me is giving people flowers, and the flowers have meaning. You know, and you do a spiritual meaning of that flower, you get a tulip or something, and it's like, oh, okay. There's something to it. Stones, different stones. I'm like, I don't know why you need a piece of coral or this, and I never heard of even the name of the stone before, and it's just in my head. This one lady had a lot of things going on energetically, and Spirit kept telling me that she needed to make a poultice, you know, like a paste. And I'm like, what? Why do you keep doing this, making this paste? You know, I could see the paste. And they kept telling her to put cloves and bay leaves and stuff in the thing and put it on the bottom of her feet for 3 nights. And she did, and she felt better. And those are the things I just like, okay, whatever, I don't know. Now, if I'm working with somebody and they're telling, hey, you know, you really should go, they got something wrong. You can't diagnose somebody. So you can say, hey, you really need to go get a checkup, and you should go get a cardiologist to check you out. And I would make that appointment really, really soon. Or, I think you should go to the ER and get checked out. I have said that before.
Time sensitive.
It is time sensitive. And they got to the ER and they had a heart attack. What else? Over my experience of just learning and working with people.
I got to work a case with you once. We did a missing girl. That was kind of fun.
But just exploring it and feeling it. And one of the biggest things is like, oh my God, I'm going to be wrong. No. You give the information. This is the thing I was saying, hey, I'm going to give you this, whether it's right or wrong. I'm just going to give it to you. Because it's here. I'm just going to lay it on the table. And you can say, well, okay. And then 2 days later, hey, Shannon. Hey, you remember that person you said? Well, I met him. Now, I don't read for myself because I always get angry. Because I don't see the lotto numbers. I keep telling them, tell me. Now, I like going to the horse track because then I can talk to the horses and I can get some money. Anybody else have a question? I'm just rattling on. I haven't rattled this much in a long time.
So if you want them to slow down, like you said, you have so many people waiting, and they're just chattering away. How do you get them to slow down? Do you just tell them?
I tell them all back off. Back off. Only one person. That's it.
And if they're speaking so fast, one person, tell them to slow down.
Back off. I will send them away from me. And then they can reset the boundary again. This is the way. I need evidence. I need it clear. I need it. No.
Show evidence is my favorite because it does pop out at you.
Give evidence. And they'll be like, why do I see a cross necklace, and it has a diamond in the middle of it, and it was your grandmother's, and they're just like, oh, I put that in my purse to bring it. Look here. They pull out the that's evidence. That's evidence that they are there. I was doing a Telemundo show back in the day, which was I had an interpreter, which was kind of an interesting thing how I even got to be on this show because it's mainly Spanish speaking, and so they had me in the audience. I was sitting in the audience and I kept thinking, oh my God, I'm just gonna throw up. I'm hurting. I'm really, really hurting. And I'm like, I gotta go on this show. They're fixing to call me to go on this show, and I'm really, really hurting. And so they called me and the interpreter to go up to sit with me. And so they're saying, is there any, they talked about what I do and everything. And then, is there you get anything for anybody? And all of a sudden I just turned to the lady that was next to me and I asked her, is it okay to talk some personal business? And so they interpreted to the lady. And I said, I need to tell you, everything is going to be okay. You're going to go through the chemo and everything okay. Your liver is going to be okay. She just goes away. And the interpreter tells me, and she just got diagnosed today with liver cancer. I'm like, oh, okay. Commercial. They did. They went to a commercial. So always pay it, and again, going back to always pay attention to yourself. When you feel pain and things that happen in your body, or you go into a space and you go, whoa, what in the heap is this? And you're trying to trudge through, you're trying to just walk, and you're just having it, like, hang on a minute. No. Or have weird dreams. No. That means there's some weird energy around, or there's somebody around that's like, no. Please go.
So when you go to like the mall or like a sporting event or a concert, you get a lot of people's energy. How do you stop it?
For me, but instead of what I would do is make my energy go like a column of light go upwards like this, and I don't stop it. A lot of people are like going, "Oh, we got to do protection." No. If I'm light, wherever I am, God is. And one of the things that when you're moving the energy through, and let it go through. Don't be nosy. Let the energy go through.
Otherwise, you'll get the runs.
A lot of people are like, what's that? Oh, that's mine. and then you're going, oh. For me, I just allow it to be the generator. I allow it to be in that space and just allow it to move. And because I don't hold on, I do my best not to hold on. When you get in that space and we start going, oh, that's different. Oh, wait. Oh, whoa. Even when you're in a place of excitement, people having all excitement energy and you're going, ah. Well, this is something different. We go, oh, I need to hold on. That's awesome. I ain't felt that one. I feel all the heavy stuff. I haven't felt this. And then you go home and you're still going, because you just, for me, I just make my energy like feel like a column. I don't shrink it like this. I just bring it this way. Now, if I'm moving, I will put my energy more of a wedge, make it feel like this in front of me, and people will start moving out of the way again. They will just move, and they don't even know why. And you're just walking, you're parting the sea. And you just put love out in front of them and say, get out of my way. No. For me, I'm only late when I want to be late because I'll bend time. I'm going to be there at this time. It's interesting. Now, unless I'm with other people.
Listen, that's a whole nother. I bend my time too, so it gets cross signaled.
Any other questions? I don't know. Can you see online?
Yeah, so we're at 52 minutes. I think I'm gonna end the stream.
No, you can stay on.
Stay on there.
But you should be able to see the comments on Facebook.
That's what I kept trying to check on my phone, and it wouldn't even show you live.
You should be able to see it right here on this dashboard.
Is it this?
Right here, chat. In this chat. See,
Okay.
these are people.
Okay, well, it hasn't done anything yet, but
yeah.
it was doing something earlier, and then these two just hold on.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
But you can go on my. It's on my.
That's what I thought. Okay, on the Shannon on page.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else have a question?
What if you have like no clue at all? Like how like you were talking about, like I can look at you for like an hour and like, do you see anything? And I'd be like, not really. Like how do you like if you're interested in that kind of stuff, how would you like want to begin?
Again, know you.
Mhm.
Know what you feel like. When you start feeling you and sensing your experience of yourself, and then when energy comes in and moves in, you're like, whoa, what's that? That's different.
I feel the energy. I've never seen like objects or like,
Not everybody.
or,
Look.
that kind of stuff.
I tell everybody, you're unique and you're different and you're going to explore things different than I do. It's how you tell the story of that energy. How do you feel? What does it feel like for you? And then you start exploring that.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And then you start realizing, wait a minute, I have more sense. Oh wait, now that makes more. And then it starts all kind of like you start remembering. It's like wait, I do that. I do get pictures. I do see this. You see the energy around people.
So you're never comfortable channeling people that are ready to make a transition?
I don't channel dead people. And let me explain what that means.
So you have a question on Facebook from a lady named Stephanie Davila.
Hang on just a second.
Okay.
Dead people. People that are stuck in the in-between. People that have agendas, that have unfinished business, things like that. I support them in finding the light first, and then we can talk. Because if they're in a state of that in between, they don't know I'll share a story. I was doing meditation with my teacher. We had a candle in the middle of the table, and we're doing a meditation, and all of a sudden the candle just blew. And so I'm just still staying in it, and I start smelling marijuana. I mean, just this. I mean, it was like whoa. And this young man started saying, "Oh, you see me?" I said, "Yeah." So I'm now in this altered state with him. He says, "How come the others can't see me? I keep trying to get them to see me and tell them I'm here. They won't listen to me." And so I had to explain to him that he had passed. He's not in his physical body anymore. And he said, I was right there, I was driving. And he showed me where it happened. And so I'm writing everything and making notes. And so I started assisting him. I'm like, hey, where's your family? Where's your soul family? So I start calling him soul family, and we start working with him. But he had been in the in-between state for quite a long time. He was about 17 years old. He was high, and a car pulled out in front of him, and he hit the car, and he was ejected. No, but about a mile away from where we were at. So I had made some notes, and so it was the other person, and we started doing it, and it had the same notes. But we sent him on to the other side. Then he came back and was able to communicate a little more about what was happening and what happened to him. But when they get it stuck, that's the ones that will do things. It's not the ones that's made transition. That's fully went It's the people that are in the middle of the road, and that's why I don't communicate with them too much. We go on to the right. Hey, we gotta go over here. Come on. And I do walk with people to the light. I just don't go into the second one. The second one is no return. Yeah.
What if they don't accept the transition?
When you start I bring in their spirit or their soul family, other people, and I let them start working with them. Yeah. I release them to them, and they normally will walk. It's like somebody making transition. Sometimes they will come out of their body, and I'll walk with them to that side and let them explore it because they're kind of scared. They're scared to let go, and then they'll come back, and then maybe I'll go again with them a couple of times to where they're okay with it, and then they make transition. And that's when you have to be in a state of knowing yourself and knowing, your emotions. You don't get lost in the emotions. You don't get caught in all the. Because you could. It's like. What did you say? Right?
Going back to, I guess, the people who've passed, there's a lady named Stephanie Davila that says whenever she's doing Reiki, she picks up on loved ones who have passed on. So I think we just kind of answered that. Should answer her question on that.
And a lot. That's when when I'm doing healing work. There's a lot of times when I will feel people's loved ones, and their loved ones will actually guide me a lot of times on what we're doing. What energies we're bringing in, why we're bringing them.
I have a comment. That's interesting that you said that go into light. Naturally or intuitively, anytime I'm near a cemetery, I can sense some energy. And so I just say, go into the light, find your loved ones, angels, archangels, whoever you believe in, find the light, find the love, be with that. to say thank you to the angels or deities.
Look, if I have to go to the hospital or do anything in the hospital when I come out to go to the car, I tell everybody, you gotta stay. There is no free ride. No.
Don't take people with you.
No. Or I put headphones in. With not even hooking anything, just the headphones in my ears. Just like, ooh, ah, no, I don't want to hear them. I already see him. I gotta walk. They're just walking around.
Yay.
It's kind of fun. And just being willing to be open to the possibility of all of it is even more freeing to yourself in that way.
I have a question real quick.
Uh-huh.
How old did you know your ability when you were young, or is it?
I
starting when
believe
you're-
so. The first time I died was when I was 6 years old, when I had cut my finger off. I had gangrene go all the way up into my heart, and they had to bring me back. So that was my first I don't have many more lives left. I've been to the other side a couple of times. But after that, I always have been, I guess, a very sensitive little boy. And then, when you go up into teenage years and stuff, you everything gets blocked off and turned off, and you don't. And then, especially when I was growing up, that's evil. You were told if you saw things like that, you were evil. It was evil. You were a sinner. And, that was one of my after having I had a car after coming out of the military and had a car accident. Everything really got turned on. I was in church and I had told the pastor my experience about what happened when I passed, and I see spirit. And then on Sunday, he pretty much just pointed me out and said I was a witch and the whole thing because of that. So that took me on a whole journey for a day or so.
So that brings up, what about those who've gone through like a near-death experience? You see them in movies like White Noise, all these other movies. They come back and start seeing things and all that. How would you guide them? How would you teach them to hone in gifts? How to deal with that?
Know that they're not crazy. I deal with a lot of children. I have neurologists and different ones that these young children come in and they're seeing things and they can't find nothing physically wrong with them. There's nothing physically wrong with them. Or people that had made a transition and they come back and they're just, or they got on the elevator and got off and they're just awake. They woke up and boom, they don't understand what's going on. One of the very first, no, you're not crazy. It's really happening. These are real things that are happening. And it's understanding that you have control. You have control. They can't just come and wreak havoc. No. This is my body. This is my experience. This is where God gave me the right. This is only one soul, one body. No. Anybody that, how do I explore that? Not to be afraid, because that is the main thing. That fear will bring the weird stuff. And, where I am, God is. This is holy cow where we're at right now. Because I am here and where I am, God is. What I do. It's getting a lot of good stuff. And it takes practice. You know, and I don't want to even use the word practice. It takes exploration. Exploring. Like I said, I made it a game. I had fun with it. After I stopped feeling that I was a witch and now this evil stuff was after me, and I was a sinner. Like, wait a minute. I started listening to them, and oh my God, it was so beautiful and so much at peace. And then Christ started coming and sitting on the bed with me, and we had these amazing conversations. And everything he was telling me was truth. I could see it. I was watching it, having compassion for people. Everything's gonna be okay. Even when you're walking through the darkness, it's okay. We're all gonna be okay. I will tell you that. All these things that are going on in our world, they say it's for the elevation. It's for a level of consciousness. And it's how are you viewing it? Are you looking at it from a place of, or, oh, okay, what am I exploring from it? How am I exploring it? Because the more let's think of it this way. When you go into a negative space of like, oh my God, what happens? Your energetic fields come in really tight. Really tight. But when you go into an exploration, you open up and you let that energy flow through. You go neutral. You're just allowing the movement to happen. But when you go into that tight space, you just suck everything up. And then you can get diarrhea. It is not good. Just things happen. I do talk to cosmic beings. They do come and communicate with me. I do go to other planets and communicate. I'm telling all my weirdness.
That's good. I like it.
Oh,
You're a mystic.
I'm letting all my little secrets.
Don't let the church know.
They found out a long time ago. And I go to church. I go to mass. I go to pray. I go and pray. She'll tell you I have to go and pray.
You pray different because you're not feeling
Yeah, because Jesus comes and sits next to me, and we have this conversation. It's like, he said, I said, oh, forgive me of my sin. He said, what's in? I said, what do you mean? He said, did you not come here to explore, to experience? Did you do something that you consciously harmed somebody? He said that was the main thing. When you consciously go, that is a karmic thing, if you want to call it. But if you do something that to someone and you don't, it's not an intent, it's not something that you, or you go to the strip club, or you go to the bar, or you eat meat, or you go and whatever. You're just being you. You're exploring. You're experiencing new experiences. So when people say, "Oh, judge," what does it say in the Bible? Judge and judge be not. Don't judge somebody because you don't know. You know. I had a great time when I was over on the other side. I thought it was amazing. I was so mad when I had to come back. Heck, I got thrown out of heaven. Hell. I told you.
Not right now, sir. Bye.
I saw on TikTok the other day, and I told Jesus that I said, "Look, I'm going to hell." He said, "What?" He said, "Because at least in hell they're partying. They're having a good time. There ain't nobody walking around. What?" He said, "That's just a concept that people put in their mind that heaven is like, what?"
They're the party animals.
It just is. It's a state of consciousness.
I've been playing with intermittent fasting and the hormones that it produces. And it produces a lot of either it's DHT or DMT. It's whatever comes out when you're in meditation or prayer. And I have found that between 22 and 24 hours fasting produces a really high amount of whichever hormone it is, and it's really easy to channel. Like Galactic Federation is like just hanging out next to you. Like, what can you ask me? And I'm like, I don't have a question. Like, this is just like before I broke fast.
Yeah.
And so the message that I heard from it was it's really important to say like your power prayers and your like manifestations in the morning before you break fast. And then at night, it's really important to clear out your day and say, none of this is coming to my subconscious and get excited for the next day.
Yeah, because I'm going out. I like it. I'm out of my body. Yeah.
And there's a few times a year where it really helps with anti-aging if you do 3 to 4 day fasts. And it produces a lot of the, it kind of rebalances your body. It starves a lot of the bacteria and viruses. They say starve a fever, feed a cold.
Yeah.
There's a lot of interesting scientific evidence towards fasting too. Like if you're starving, you can only make it 3 days. But if you're hunger fasting or striking, you can make it weeks.
But that's like the Native American going on a vision quest.
Right.
They fast. They're fasting for 72 hours. I think it's 72 hours or 3 days, whatever, until they have the vision. Until their answer is answered. But Spirit will answer the question before you even answer it, or before you even ask it. Because they already know everything is answered there. That's why I love doing more like spiritual, how to open you up more spiritually when I look at you or working with you. I'd like to do more of those readings or more channelings like that. And I love doing with loved ones, people that's crossed over to people have grief or find, that part. But to work with people in finding their own spiritual path and being open and know that they're okay. They're not Fruit Loops. Because I've been, trust me. I did a 21-day fast back when I was younger. I don't fast too much anymore. No, I was just talking to my brother. So I'm going to go back onto a very strict regimen. He's laughing. He's like, I feel like that.
You're supposed to enjoy being
Absolutely. So I'm because that's why we're here, to enjoy it, to just explore, to say yes to life. And miracles start happening. And you're going, oh, okay, wait a minute. Sometimes you have some adjustments. Sometimes things are kind of weird. But then after that adjustment or the weirdness kind of goes, you're like, oh, I understand now why we had to go through that. But now we're going to be able to go over here and do this. Okay. Or,
I have a question. What would you say about people expressing their, and you hear it a lot like on social media, the dark night of the soul? What is your say on that?
The dark. The question was, what is my view, or what would I say about the dark night of the soul? People talk about the dark night of the soul. The dark night of the soul is actually when you're in the void. You are creating you in that space. It's not a dark. When we were created in the dark. There was nothing but dark. And so when people are saying, "Oh, the dark night of the soul," it's not. It's actually you're beginning to create yourself. You're beginning to birth yourself. And how you're in that space of it. You're in the void. And those are all the things when you're in there, you're going, "Well, I'm not that." And God says, "Yes, you are. You're this, you're this, you're that, you're that, you're that, because I created you." And when you accept that is you start moving again. People think all these dark thoughts and everything, it's like, no. Sit with it, understand it, know what it is. It's in that space that you're working with. You couldn't see it unless you're the light. You couldn't be in the dark unless you're in the light. You didn't know you were there unless you're in the light. And that's where people get lost. It's like, "Oh my God, I'm doing the dark." Isn't that beautiful? Or doing shadow work. Awesome. Shadow work is when you start looking at yourself and you're going, "Oh, well, I'm not that." Yes, you are. You're an ass. Yes, you are. Or, "I'm not my mother." Yes, you are. You have her DNA. I'm sorry. You have it all. You're dad. Yes, you are. Sorry. Your actions, they taught you how to be. I'm sorry. They even taught you how to love. And people be going, "So how did your parents react when you were children? Were they loving? Did they show that? Did they have compassion for each other? Was it easy? Did they communicate? Or did they beat the hell out of each other, or cuss at each other, or drink, or cheat, or everything?" And then you're wondering why your relationships are like that, or you can't. It's like, because that was the love language. That's what you showed love was. And then your soul is going, "Wait, that's not it." But we're taught that. Here we go again. I'm just thinking it.
Okay, easy going. Okay, so after a session, medium session, reading, whatever you want to call it, what are some of the best ways to ground? So you're just floating out there.
Cheeseburger.
Actually, yeah.
Floating for days.
If I'm finishing a session, if I'm completing, for me, I have, just as I have one that does this, that turns me on, I have one that turns me off, and it is cheeseburger. You will hear me say, "Oh, I need a cheeseburger," and the people that work with me, I think you know, when you hear that, that's when I'm going. I'm grounding. I'm coming into, I have a key code word for myself. And I'm coming for landing. And then you're going to start hearing me say, "Oh my God, my body hurts. Oh, it hurts." Because I've done rolled on the floor or all kinds of weird stuff. But I have that. But that's discovering yours. You know, you're discovering. Some people have stones or crystals that will help. Different ones. Hematite is one of them if you need that. Some people go and walk in nature or touch. Some people have a Coke or drink water with salt. Hug a tree. There's several different things, but for me, thing that worked the best was to have a trigger word that said, hey, you got to come back here, you got to ground, you're going back to center. And that's cheeseburger. And if I'm doing bigger work, like if I'm doing a group healing or something, I will tell somebody, hey, when we're done, come and ask me, hey, Shannon, are you ready for a cheeseburger? And it's a weird thing, but people that know me know that I would say, no, I'm not quite ready yet. Because I'm trying to work through some energy still.
That explains why I like baths after we've done stuff. I have to get into
Baths,
hot water with
salt
magnesium
baths.
salt. Yeah.
Some people smoke cigarettes, some people smoke weed, some people drink beer. I've seen it all.
Dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah. The shamans will drink a beer. You know. Great question. I'm just enjoying the recording.
It's all on. We're live. I was.
I normally don't go into this part of me, you know, to explain too much to people because it opens up a place some people just don't understand. It's like, well, what do you mean? There's somebody standing next to you, and you know they have this, or there's this orb of energy. You know, I just exploring this energy that's next to you, or you know, I'm sitting here looking and I'm like, wow, here's this energy just floating around you, just moving around you. And it's just like, oh. You don't know how to put with people. And so one of my how do you say, my new experience that I'm working with myself, that I'm going to be more. I'm going to open up more and explore and be a little more vulnerable, be more open for people to see me, to be known. This is what I did. And I'm okay with that. If you want to call me crazy or whatever you want to call me, that's okay. I'm good. I've been called worse. Just call me for supper. I'm good. Yeah, everybody's just looking at me like that.
It's digestible at least. It's absorbing pretty good. A lot to think about though.
But exploring yourself is the most important, and knowing yourself is the key. I mean, it really, really is. And I'm gonna say something. If you're a drama person, just say, I'm a drama person. I'm gonna work with drama. This is the way I'm gonna work how my energy works. I'm gonna be in drama. And it's going to come out as a telemundo, or what do you call it? What a telenovela. It's going to be all like, and that's okay.
I do have a question. What are some good ways to get to know yourself?
Sit with yourself. You know, this is a weird thing. I'll go outside in the bathroom and turn all the lights off. Put a thing in front of the door and just sit in the darkness. Well, I could do that in my room. I don't have no windows or anything in my room. But I just sit there and explore it. I'll do a technique where I put a blindfold on me.
And are we just
And you
feeling?
just sit. Yeah, just sit with yourself. Just sit with yourself.
Kind of like that box that you tell people to go in.
Mm-hmm.
Called the pandemonium or something.
Go into the float tanks.
Oh, those are awesome. You're in there for
Oh my
45
God, just
minutes
floating?
in darkness, floating in salt water. You could have some sound. Some people don't do sound though.
But it's just exploring you. Wow, what is my emotions? What am I? Am I happy, sad? Am I this, that, left, right, up, down? What am I experiencing? Do I feel it this way or that way?
So when I'm sad, this is how my body feels.
Yeah. Yeah, your body responds to your emotions just as well. It's like getting chicken skin. When somebody's speaking truth to you, real truth, you get the chicken skin.
Goosebumps.
We felt it a little while ago when we were talking about something. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, your body responds. You know when somebody's telling a story, your body will, you can watch their own body language, their body will respond. It's just knowing you. And then if I come over and move my energy around you, you go, ooh. And that's part of when I will teach that. And when I teach people to channel, we'll put you in the middle of the room with a thing on it, just let you sit there and we'll go on for a while. And then start moving around you and see if you feel and experience what's happening. The movement. Is it masculine? Is it feminine? Are they, how do you feel it? How do you experience it? Your eyes are deceivers. Because everything you're looking at right now is upside down. And then it goes and it puts it into your brain, and then your brain turns it into energy, and then it's energy that says, oh, that's this thing stringing down here. That's what that looks like, because it's energy. We're energy. Think of this. Haven't you ever noticed a house somebody's living in a house, and the house just is amazing, and then all of a sudden they move out of it, in a month, everything just starts looking like it's falling down. There's no energy there. There's no life force. Somebody new moves in and goes, well. And they move out and the house goes, whoa. A car the same way. Park a car. No human energy in it. What happens? But you can drive it for hundreds of thousands of miles and it stays together, but you don't have nobody drive it or anything, it just falls apart. Owning a business. You are the business. You are the energy. You're that place. Come and be with me. You want to come here. Be the beacon. Show up. Okay. When you start creating, you start finding. I want to know the truth. I'll say, I want to know the good, bad, or ugly about it. I want to know. I want to know. We found out what was wrong.
That was not with ease and grace.
but it was.
Yeah.
It was the easiest. But it was the truth. And then we can move through it. Yeah, I've been working on that umbilical syndrome, cutting the umbilical cords. And it could be really, really, the birthing process could be really, really difficult for people when you're trying to move into your own power and your own place and your own exploration of yourself, and you're growing and you're moving, and they don't want to. They want to stay in the contraction. And I'm like, no. I'm going to have a C-section pretty soon.
You don't make things uncomfortable around you.
So the saying, like attracts like.
It is. And if you want miracles in your life, expect them
And explore.
and explore them. And be okay with it and know you're worthy of miracles that just show up every day. It's part of your everyday life. It is. Like I said, you're it. You're what God created. And God didn't create you to be without.
It's the defective product from Hogwarts.
I love that thing.
She's still working.
Oh,
It's a Zumba.
is it a Roomba?
And a little
No,
wrench on
it's
it.
not a Roomba. It's a toy.
Oh, it's a
Is it?
toy?
Yeah, she doesn't suck up the stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
Listen, we need a Roomba and we'll put the broom on top. Okay,
Yeah.
Misty?
Yeah.
We'll do a redo.
Jesus.
Put your butt that way.
Any other questions? Anything? Comments? Anything?
No, that was all. The two things I asked.
We don't know how people are viewing this or anything.
It was mostly we got more of the Facebook, and I'll post it. It'll go on the YouTube.
It's tough. It's right. The spirit is shutting me down. Time for cheeseburger.
There you go. I'm
So
gonna
that's-
end the stream.
Uh,
I'm gonna end the stream or wait. Okay.
So we're going to be back here on the 29th.
Right for Reiki drumming.
Reiki drumming meditation. I'm going to bring my big drum. We're going to be in Traders Village the next day.
Yeah, that's Saturday. The next day after that.
I'm going to be doing crystal and healing demonstrations out at 325, Unit 325.
Unit
right?
325, yes, in Traders Village. We're probably gonna be there from 11 a.m. to like 2 o'clock. I'll put it out on the socials.
That's what that lady shop.
At Yvonne's shop.
Yvonne,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna kind of set up too, because a lot of people do ask for readings with Shannon. So if people wanted to go up there and have a brief something.
And then
And then
third,
May
we're gonna-
3rd, we're back here,
back here.
a Tuesday.
And then we're going to do the Angelic Reiki Master class.
Yes.
But we're going to add some other things in, and we're going to do a channeling class to learn how to do channeling. And then we're going to have an amateur read here from the students so they can explore it.
Are we just gonna sit random people in front of the students and
Yeah.
tell them read them?
Anybody wants to come in and get a read?
No pressure though.
Of course not.
Yeah. What does Shannon say? Worms, money, and boxes. I love it.
What else? We're going to be doing quite a bit of things.
You'll see it.
So just, I'm going to, you see, I'm coming out of the spiritual closet really big time now. We're gonna be bringing out the mystic method or the light method. I'm gonna start teaching that how people to bring in the light and do toning and light code healing.
What kind of healing?
Light code healings. When you hear me work now. I'm making that. I'm channeling. That's light code healing. You get that beautiful song that I sing to you in another language. I don't even know, but I know what they're saying. I know what it's just a frequency that's coming in.
It is beautiful.
Yeah. Anything else?
I didn't see anything else on here. One second. I'm gonna check one more time.
Thank you all. Thank you all online for joining us, and thanks everybody for being here and coming here. If you did get some purchases, I think the register is still open. Anything else?